lot of negativity surrounding social media platforms at the moment. Looking at Facebook, how is Facebook promoting diversity within the organization?
So if I talk broadly about technology, I think there's a challenge in that we actually need a better pipeline of talent coming in the door. And so there's a couple of things that we're doing around that specifically. One is, I think you've got to look pre-recruiting. So you've got to look at what's the talent pool that's coming up through the ranks. And so we're actually supporting initiatives to get women engaged in computer science, in STEM. Within Facebook specifically, the way that we look at it is diversity is a benefit. So statistically, if you look at diverse companies, they have better workforces, they produce better products, they have better decision making. And so for us, it's really about that. So we're looking to get as diverse a group as possible, whether that's previous employment, whether that's capability, race, age, gender, sexual orientation. To us, it's important to have a group that looks like the audience that we're serving.
So how have Facebook's hiring practices evolved over time?
What we do, just a few things. We make sure that we hire from underrepresented communities, number one. As it relates to women, we do salary audits to make sure that men and women are paid equally. And then we have a big push internally to make sure people have the tools to actually understand the implications of their decisions. So we talk a lot about unconscious bias within an organization, and that's not only the community that you're building, but it also applies to the hiring process. And so everybody shows up with positive intent, but at the end of the day, everyone has some kind of bias that they bring to the table. And so we've worked with researchers to create a program that everyone in the organization takes to help identify it and then call it out and actually change behavior. So it's those types of things that we continue to invest in.
How do you bring men into the conversation? Because it's not just a women issue, it's an everybody issue.
We do inclusion training, we do Be the Ally training, and really it's about perspective. And I think the issue is we all come in with a single perspective, and we need to pull back and think about the perspectives of everybody else sitting around the table. And so for me, for my team and everybody else at Facebook, it's important we do show up as allies. We call out bad behavior when we see it. We show up and support, and then the same thing from an inclusion, making sure we're creating the environment that everybody, no matter who they are, feel comfortable.
How can women better advocate for themselves, especially when it comes to things like applying for jobs?
So I think there's a few things to it. One, we make sure we have career discussions quarterly. And these are real discussions around what are my needs, where do I want to get to? And I think that helps, it's not everything. We also do once a year vision writing. And the vision writing is to say, where do I want to be in 12 months? And it's not just work, it's personal, it's home life, it's whether you want to get to the gym more, and it creates a forum for people to have a conversation with much less guards. And so I think that again fosters more natural conversations. And the last piece is, we just simply have to promote and encourage women within roles to take the leap. And we do that within the Canadian organization. I know it happens across the rest of Facebook, but it's a conversation that we have to continue to push.
And what about the platform itself as a customer? I imagine that's also another whole set of issues to try and deal with, ensuring that it's a balanced, fair, safe environment, and it also, has diversity inclusion into the mix. How do you go about tackling that?
From a product development perspective, it does go back to the view that I truly believe if you have a diverse workforce, you're going to actually deliver a diverse product set, because you need that perspective when you're developing new tools within the market. So one of the things that we're actually doing with it is we have a goal within the next 5 years, 50% of the organization will be women, people of color, or underrepresented groups. And so I think that's an ambitious goal, but when I see the commitment that we have to delivering it, that will ultimately translate to serving our community in a much better way. We have the discussion every day, it's out in the open, and I think it brings much more transparency and honest discussions to the mix.